Newcastle have gone ahead to obviously show their strength over PSG in the game that was played at the St. James's Park Stadium tonight. And Kylian Mbappe's side has been humbled by a beating coming in from the side of Newcastle. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and it was really a very good showdown at the St. James's Park. The wait for Champions League football to return for the last 2 decades has been worth it, because they've gone ahead to really give this team a beating, and they are now so much into what we call a celebration mode down there. I saw Alan Sheil. I think he's one of those few players of Newcastle that last played or that last represented Newcastle in the Champions League. Not so, and they obviously went ahead to put in a fight that everyone really accepted, and it gave them a very huge benefit of doubt. And thank you for always keeping it the Rokani Media Football. But we are also going to discuss about the win of Man City. They've gone ahead to get away from home by beating RB Leipzig by 3-1, and we are going to discuss Atletico Madrid's victory against Feyenoord and very many other wins that have gone ahead to transpose today in the mainstream of these games. And hope you guys are really having fun, and I'm here to obviously talk to you, and you're also going to talk to me through the comment section. Hope we are obviously going to be listening to one another better and better. Now let's start it off with Newcastle. Newcastle came in through and obviously had a very good go at PSG in the 17th minute. Miguel Almiron went ahead to obviously score for the side of Newcastle. Then in the 39th minute, Dan Burn headed that ball in the back of the net, cross coming in from Bruno Guimaraes. Then Sean Longstaff in the 50th minute came in through and made it 3 for the side of Newcastle. And then Lucas Hernandez pulled one back for PSG. Then Fabian Schär went ahead to obviously score a screamer, as obviously carved that ball into the back of the net from outside the 18 yards box area and made it 4-1 for Newcastle. And Newcastle had a very good goal on the side of PSG, and it shows you exactly how they've gone ahead to obviously dominate the game. And let me show you the stats and how everything really went down at that side of Newcastle. Newcastle had 12 shots, PSG had 11, and out of the 12, 8 were really on target. That was really so much clinical and accurate, and PSG had only 2 shots on target. 26% ball possession by Newcastle, 74% ball possession by 74% ball possession by PSG. That confirms to us that PSG threw the ball and left it for Newcastle left the ball for PSG, and they decided to obviously hit them on the break and obviously make it hard for them to come in through and obviously see what they're supposed to be getting from this side. 244 passes completed by Newcastle, and then 664 passes completed by PSG, but they couldn't really convert that possession into chances of goals. 68% passing accuracy by Newcastle, 87% passing accuracy by PSG, 16 fouls by Newcastle, 9 by PSG, 3 yellow cards to Newcastle, 4 to PSG, 0 red cards to both sides, 0 offsides to Newcastle and 2 offsides to PSG, 1 corner to Newcastle and 8 corners to PSG. And as the group stands, it's Newcastle topping the group with 4 points, PSG is second with 3 points, and Inter Milan has gone ahead to draw with Borussia Dortmund, and they're having 2 points, and Borussia Dortmund is on the bottom of the table with 7 points in there for you. So it shows you exactly how this game really went down at the stadium of St. James's Park, and they went ahead obviously getting the best of the result that had obviously to do. But lots of things really happened on the stadium that people never really saw, and the big question is, where does this leave PSG? And the talking point is all about Kylian Mbappe. If you watch that game, Kylian Mbappe's body language was like, when am I leaving this club? That is it. They made a very bad mistake of not selling this player. Even if they're going to be given 150 million pounds by Real Madrid, they would have gone ahead to cash in for Kylian Mbappe. Why would they cash in for Kylian Mbappe? The reason is simple. He needs to play where he's obviously going to be happy. Even when he's playing, when they're playing in the league, he is not obviously showing his urge to put his body on the line for the team of Newcastle. He fakes injuries, he's being paid handsomely, but his heart is not here. And Chairman Al-Kharif of PSG needs to get this right, that money is not everything in this life. Mbappe is arguably one of the best players in the world right now, and this season has been written off because of the performance of PSG into the Champions League. When PSG had Messi, Neymar, Di Maria, Kylian Mbappe, the varieties of this world, Sergio Ramos, they couldn't struggle to get out of the group stages. But trust me, they might struggle to get out of this group. That is it. Unless otherwise, they beat AC Milan home and away. That's when they're going to get it. But for Borussia Dortmund, you cannot really rule them out on a day. You can't rule out Borussia Dortmund on a day, because they can come in through and really shock your team to the bone marrow. That's what they bring for you here onto this channel. So I would like obviously to let you know that things are obviously not going on as you people want them to go. But when you look at PSG, they need to obviously respect this project. 150 million pounds for Kylian Mbappe will help you bring like 3 players that are really worth it, because he has shown you that even if you're having him right now, he's not going to take you to the dream world. All what made him effective was the players that played around him. And today, Ousmane Dembele put in a better shift than Kylian Mbappe in the field of play. We all saw that today, and it was not looking good for that side, because Mbappe needs to be given the game or the ball to obviously make it count. But he saw to it that he couldn't even track back. He's costing the team, and they are going to suffer a lot if they keep him here. So that is good news for Newcastle. They've gone ahead to win their game, and I think I've liked the way Howe is obviously taking his staff to the next level, and he's doing what he's supposed to do as a manager and winning this beautiful game of football. And kudos to him and the performance put in through his players. And let's talk Miguel Almiron. Miguel Almiron last scored, I think, last season. You get? And over the weekend went ahead to score his first goal, and today is going ahead to score another one, meaning that he might be back. He might be back to where they want him to be. Remember last season he spent close to 10 games scoring consecutively, and in the 13 games he scored 10 goals. I think it was 10 games he scored 13 goals. That is Miguel Almiron. And if at all you know what Miguel Almiron is all about, he gives Newcastle a very perfect balance of the right attacking side of the midfield, and he's obviously a threat into the 18 box area of the opponent. So if I'm PSG, I sell Kylian Mbappe in January, and obviously embrace my project of obviously getting in the young talented players in Europe into my squad, like Cole Muani, Ekitike. They're having Nuno Mendes, Ugarte in that midfield, because the fact is they're having some good talent. I think even Vitinha is playing that side. There is another Spanish guy who plays there also. All you have to believe in is that Rome was not built in one day. And when you embrace that, you'll obviously be the happiest person on the world, because you obviously get to know that things are obviously going the best way that you deserve them to be, and nothing is gonna really stop you from obviously thriving to the levels you want to get. That's what PSG has to accept, that you've tried it the money way, get celebrities, Galacticos from the Zlatans, the Cavani's, and so on and so forth. it hasn't worked out for you. That means you should go the other way. And the other way is really painful. Get off the celebrities from your team and start to build it afresh with the Ugates, the right back of Morocco, what's his name? Hakimi, such players. I think they're having a very good team, and all what they need is to give time to Enrique. Enrique is a very good manager. I saw him at Barcelona when I think he won a treble. He won a treble with Neymar, Messi, Iniesta, Suarez. He's a very good manager. They just need to give him time to see to it that he obviously proves all the people wrong and gets the team to the direction it deserves to be, because his management skills are really undoubted. He has really shown us that he has a particular style of football he wants to play, and he can put it in place and obviously see him obviously get where it deserves to be, if at all things really get to where we want them to be. So he's obviously doing a very big role at PSG and is getting them to where they deserve to be. I understand it's really a long journey, but even a journey of 1,000 kilometers commences with one step. Not so? So we have to obviously come in through and not embarrass him, but we just have to give him enough time to obviously get him to where it's up to be. I don't know whether I don't know whether the people responsible at at PSG will be willing to give him the time he deserves, but I think that's the best that will ever happen to this team of PSG. Give him enough time, prepares you the team, and obviously other things will be gotten right. After that, let's go to the game of Man City. RB Leipzig 1, Man City 3. Phil Foden in the 25th minute, then Openda leveled in the 48th minute, then Julian Alves went ahead to score in the 84th minute, and Jeremy Doku in the 90th minute plus 2 minutes. That's when Man City killed off the game. It was not an easy one down in Germany. It stretched them a lot, but they had their lineup as follows. They played a 3-2. You know that system very well that he really initiated towards the end of last season. That is Mikel Arteta. They had Ederson in goal, Kyle Walker, Diaz, and Vadio back three. Then Rodri and Akanji in the double pivot. Rodri is playing the Champions League because he was really one of those players suspended, and he's not going to play in the Premiership game they're going to be playing against Arsenal. Then we are having Bernardo Silva, Lewis, Foden, and Grealish. That is the midfield four, and Erling Haaland leading the line. So one player that is obviously catching the eye of many is obviously Julian Alves. In particular, if you really look at what is bringing onto the table, guys, this boy is really talented, and this season he might be one of those seasons he might even outscore Erling Haaland. When you look at him, he starts this season, he has played 2 matches in the Champions League, has 3 goals and 1 assist. In the Premier League, has gone here to play 10 games, has 3 goals. That is Julian Alves for you, and it shows you how much is erupting to obviously becoming one of the best players at Man City. At his age, at his talent, obviously he'll surpass Erling Haaland. And Erling Haaland, he has played 2 Champions League games, he hasn't scored any goal. That is really shocking of Erling Haaland, because we knew to it that he's one of those players that really puts in a shift every time he's being called in for. But we know what is causing this drought. One of the players that knows him better and read him like a book, or read his lines like a book, is Kevin De Bruyne, and is injured. And when Kevin De Bruyne is injured, obviously things won't work out well for the side of Erling Haaland. Then when you look at Erling Haaland in the Premier League, has 12 goals in 11 games. For that, he's scoring, but he has 1 assist in the Champions League. So, but Julian Alves is a more better balanced player for that side of Chelsea. Sorry, for that side of Man City and is doing the best for himself to obviously get where he deserves to be. So they saw themselves win that beautiful game of football, and they're obviously topping the table. They're topping the table with 6 points, and RB Leipzig is having 3 points, Young Boys is having 1 point, and Crvena Zvezda is having 1 point. That is it, coming in from Man City. And they went into this game, obviously, knowing that over the weekend they are playing against Arsenal. They are playing against Arsenal in the Premier League, a game that is highly anticipated for by very many people all over the world, and they want to watch it and see how this really happens, because Arsenal is ready and Man City is ready. They're not having Rodri. Arsenal looks like they're going to miss out on Bukayo Saka, but they're having a very huge boost that Thomas Partey is back in action to take this to the level it deserves to be on. So that is it, coming in from Man City, and they had a very good go today. But let's go to other fixtures and see how things really panned out. Atletico Madrid 3, Feyenoord 2, Antwerp 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 3, Young Boys 2, and Crvena Zvezda 2. Inter Milan draws with Borussia Dortmund 0-0, Newcastle 4, PSG 1, Porto 0, Barcelona 1. We are going to talk about that in full depth and see what we panned out. Barcelona came in through with the following starting 11. Let me show you how Barcelona really lined up on the nights. Barcelona had Marc ter Stegen in goal, João Cancelo right back, left back Balde, Conde, and Araujo in the central defense. Then Romeo, Gundogan, and Gavi in the central midfield. Gavi was really booked twice. That is a red card, and was really thrown under the bus. Lawal, Yamal, sorry about that, played as a right attacking midfielder. João Felix left forward, and Lewandowski went ahead to obviously lead the line. And guess who obviously put them ahead to either win this beautiful game of football? It was none other than Ferran Torres in the first half, and so to it that he got them to where they deserve to be. So that is it, coming in from Barcelona, and their stats were all not that bad, though they obviously got a red card. And playing away at Porto is not an easy tie to obviously face, if at all you are that side of Barcelona. With the problems they're really facing, it's really one of those matches that you don't want to look back at and just progress. 13 shots by Porto, Barcelona had 14. 5 shots on target by Porto, Barcelona had 4. 44% ball possession by Porto, Barcelona had 56%. 379 passes completed by FC Porto, Barcelona completed 496. 83% ball possession, 83% passing accuracy by Porto, Barcelona had 84%. 5 fouls by Porto, 18 fouls by Barcelona. 1 yellow card to Porto, 5 yellow cards to Barcelona, 0 red cards to FC Porto, 1 red card to Barcelona, 1 offside to both sides, 6 corners to both sides. And Barcelona is topping the league, is topping the group with 6 points. FC Porto is having 3 points, Shakhtar Donetsk is having 3 points, and Antwerp is having 0 points. That is it, coming in from the side of Barcelona, and that's how everything really went down in the Champions League game. Now we head into a Premier League, we head into a Champions League break, and the next game of the Champions League is going to be played after the international break, and I think it's going to be around 24th, right? So when you look at the next fixture that are coming in through on the 24th, Galatasaray is playing Bayern Munich, Inter Milan is hosting RB Salzburg, then Union Berlin is playing Napoli, Sevilla is hosting Arsenal, Braga is hosting Real Madrid, RC Lens is hosting PSV, Benfica is hosting Real Sociedad, Man United is hosting Copenhagen in a game they need to win if at all they are to keep their chances bright to get out of the group stage. Barcelona and Shakhtar Donetsk, Feyenoord hosting Lazio, Newcastle hosting Dortmund, RB Leipzig hosting Grevana, Young Boys hosting Man City, PSG hosting AC Milan, Celtic hosting Atletico Madrid, and Antwerp hosting FC Porto. That is it, and it's happening on the 24th and 25th of this month. So that's it, and that's how everything is going to pan out down into the Champions League when we return from the national break. And hope you guys have gone ahead, obviously, get to know exactly what the race have been all about. And I thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for watching it through. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. Tomorrow, all today, is UEFA Europa League, and some huge fixtures are really coming in through. Aston Villa, Liverpool, West Ham are into the mix, plus Brighton and